Till now, we have discussed many things about data file handling in C programming language. So, what we have discussed, let's see that once again. What we know, what is a file? A file can be used to store a large volume of persistent data. So, to work on such files, C programming language has a file management system, and in that management system different activities like creation of a file, opening a file, reading a file, writing a file, closing a file, all these activities are included. To perform these actions, we have many functions in C language. Means when we perform any activity like when we open a file or we close a file, for all these activities different functions are there in C language. So we use all those functions for all these activities. Now let's go for some practical activities which will help us to understand these things very clearly. But before going for that practical activity, let's see some other things which will be required in the practical classes. So here you can see that file, file, which is written in capital. After that, fopen is the function which will help us to open a file. Then char star fname. So this is the file name. Here we have to write the file name. Then char star mode, and in this place, what kind of action we are going to take on the file, that file mode will be used. Actually, you know that different file modes are there for reading purpose, for writing purpose, for working with binary files. Different file modes are there. So what kind of action we are going to perform on a file, here we have to mention that file mode. Now fopen is a function which is used to open a file. So here it is said that fopen function, like all the other file system functions, uses the header file stdio.h. That means what is the activity of fopen function? That activity is explained in this header file stdio.h. So this header file should be included in our program. The name of the file to be opened is pointed to by fname. So already I have mentioned that here we need to mention the file name. So whenever we'll open a file, that file name we have to write here. The string given as the second parameter for mode determines how the file should be accessed. So here already I have talked about this file mode, that different file modes are there for doing different types of jobs, like R for reading purpose, W for writing purpose, A for append purpose, all this. So that file mode will be mentioned here. Now let's see how to write the codes for opening a file. So here you can see that after this keyword file, file, all the letters are in capital. After this keyword we have mentioned a file pointer name, and here the file pointer is fp, means this is a pointer to a file which will point out the file and will help us to write or to read from the file. Now here we are just checking while opening the file using this file pointer. Definitely the file pointer is going to get the address of the first byte of the file in fp, and here the file name is my file, and the mode is R, means for reading purpose we are going to open this file. So whatever this fopen function is returning, and that is the address of the first byte of this file, and that will be stored to fp. If that is null, that means if there is no file like this, or due to some reason we are unable to open this file, then fp will get a null value, because fopen function is not returning anything. So if it is null, then we can say that error in opening a file. That means there is an error while opening this file, and exit 1 means it will take us to the outside of the program. So this way we can check that using a file pointer, when we are opening a file, whether the file is being opened properly or not properly. So in that case we may have an option like this to check if it is not being opened properly, then definitely any error message we can display and we can come out of the program. Say we want to read the contents of a file. So to read contents from an existing file, we need to open that file in read mode, that means R mode. So we know that when we try to retrieve the information stored in a file, then we need to read the file, and for that purpose the file mode R will be used. So what will be the algorithm for reading a file? The algorithm to read data from a file, what are those? First we need to open the file in read mode, then we read the data from the file, then we send the data to an output device. It may be monitor, it may be a printer, and these two steps means reading data and sending data to the output device. These two steps will be repeated again and again until we reach at the end of the file. And when all the data of the file will be retrieved in this way, then we just close the file and we stop the procedure. So this way we can read the contents of a file. Let's see the codes for reading a file. So here you can see that after including the header file, we have declared a file pointer fp, and file pointer always, as we know, that it is declared after the keyword file. Here I have used this name fp. You can use any other name also, no problem, but this is a pointer to a file which will help us to read or to perform write operation in a file. Then we have one character variable ch, which can contain a single character at a time. Then we are opening a file, and here the file name is clear.c, and as we are going to read the contents of this file, therefore the file mode will be R, and the file will be opened, and the address of the first byte of the file will be returned to fp. Now we are just checking if fp's value is null. That means if the file is not opened due to some reason, then fp's value will be null. In that case, we are displaying one error message, that is unable to open clear.c, means that's the file name, so unable to open that file. Otherwise, what are we doing? We have formed a loop here. You can see do while loop is here. So in this, what are we doing? We are reading one character from the file pointer, because now this file pointer is attached to the file. So we are reading one character at a time from the file pointer, and we are storing that character to ch. Then we are just writing that character on the screen. This process will be continued until we reach at the end of the file. And earlier I told you that there is a marker which is used to mark the beginning of the file, as well as another marker is there which is used to mark the end of the file. So end of the file, there is the marker is EOF. EOF means end of the file. So until we reach there, means at the end of the file, this loop will be continued. So this way, character by character, all the characters will read from the file and will write on the standard output device. And when this process will be completed, then the file will be closed, means we'll just close the file pointer. So file pointer will be separated from the file. It will not point out anything there anymore, and after that will come out of this program. So this way we can read the contents of a file. So already I have talked about EOF, or end of file. So what is it? Let's see. Some points are given here. Generally, a file contains a large amount of data. In a large file, it is difficult to detect the end of the file while reading. So when we are continuing this process, means we are just reading the contents of a file character by character, so it is difficult for us to detect the end of the file. So in that case, what we do, we use a marker that is called EOF, or end of file, which is placed at the end of the file. So until we reach there, we can continue this process of reading characters, and whenever we'll reach there in EOF, that means the file is finished, we have finished the job, so we can stop this process. I talked about closing a file, so fclose function is used for that purpose. In fclose function, what we do, we just use the file pointer. That means we are just going to close that file, so file pointer will be detached from the file. Now the thing is, if we have multiple files opened at the same time, and if we want to close all the files at a time, then we can use, instead of fclose, we can use fclose all function, which will close all the files opened at the time. Now let's see the codes where we will try to understand that how can we write some data in a binary file, and how can we read the contents of that binary file. So here what I have done, I have included these header files stdio.h, string.h, stdlib.h. Then in the main method, what have I done? I have taken one character variable ch, one integer variable count, and I have initialized with a value 0. So that means this count variable is going to count something, probably the number of characters we are entering. And then as I mentioned earlier, I have declared a file pointer fp. So this is a pointer to a file, and then I have opened using fopen function. I have opened a file, and here the file name is file1.txt, and this file I have opened in G drive under C data files folder. I have opened. So this way you have to mention the path of the file, and in this place I have mentioned the file mode WB plus, as we are going to perform reading and writing operations in a binary file, so the file mode will be WB plus. Then I'm just checking here that if fp has got a null value, that means return 1, it will come out of this program, because we know that if fp gets a null value, that means we are unable to open this file due to some reason, and therefore will come out of this program. But if fp has got something different, obviously the different means the address of the first byte of the file, so that means successfully we have opened that file. So instead of returning, what it will do, it will display one message, a file named file1.txt has opened, and after that it will display one message on the screen, enter a line of text and press enter to save. That means we have to enter a line of text, and we have to press enter key to save all those text whatever we have entered. Now you see here, while ch equals to getchar not equals to \n. \n is a new line character, means whenever we press enter key, this \n is the representative of that action. So we can say that this \n is a new line character. So while entering the character, whatever the character we are entering, all those characters are being received by this function getchar, and those characters will be stored to ch. So when we are writing a line of text, definitely character by character we are typing, so all those characters are being received by this ch variable one by one. So until we press enter key, so ch will not get that enter key action, and \n is representing that action. Therefore until the value of ch is not being this \n, this loop will be continued, and the character we have entered in ch, that will be written to the file. Therefore putc function is being used to write the contents whatever we are typing character by character to that file which has been opened using fp. And presently we have opened this file file1.txt, which is under C data files folder in G drive. So I'll show you whether the file has been formed successfully or not. So after writing the character to that file fflush fp, we are just refreshing this input buffer, or we are just refreshing this file pointer, better you can say here. So the use of fflush already in different string programs we have used. So here it is refreshing the input buffer, and that input buffer is the file pointer here, and definitely the value of the count variable is being increased. That means count variable is counting how many characters we are typing here. So this process will be continued until we press an enter key. So when we'll press that enter key, ch will get \n, and that time definitely will come out of this loop. Just after coming out of this loop, we have to close the file. So fclose fp, so fp will be detached from this file, and we have performed the writing operation. Now the time is to read the contents of the file. So once again we are just going to open that file, and this time we are opening the file in RB plus mode. RB plus mode means we are going to open this file for reading purpose, and as it is a binary file, so B is being used. So RB plus, this is the mode to open that binary file this time for this action. Now we have displayed one line, the file contains, so this message will be displayed on the screen, and here once again we have started a loop while ch equals to f get c, fp not equals to eof. So f get c, it will just read one character at a time from fp, and fp is what? File pointer. That means the contents of the file we are retrieving using this fp, and this is being retrieved by this fgetC function, and the character we are retrieving here, character by character we are retrieving the content of the file. So all those characters will be stored to ch. So until the value of ch is not being eof is what? End of file. That is a marker, and that is placed at the end of the file. So until we are not reaching there, whatever we have got in ch, that will be written to the standard output device, and that is monitor. So put c ch comma std out. So this thing you can write, instead of writing this thing here, you can write this thing also, printf format specified is %c, you know, for a character, and then ch. So this thing also can be used, and here putc function is writing the character which is in ch in standard output device. Standard output device is monitor. So this is being repeated for all the characters we are reading from the file in ch one by one. After that, when we will reach to the eof, that means we have retrieved the entire contents of the file. So will be out of this loop, and then it will display number of characters including blank, how many characters already we have entered including blank spaces. The value of count will be displayed on the screen, and after that we are just closing the file. So once again f close fp, so this file pointer will be detached from the file and then return 0. So this way it's supposed to work. Let's try to run this one. First I'm just compiling it. Yeah, it's okay. So I'm just executing this one. Here it is, you see a file named file1.txt has opened, and it is showing a message, enter a line of text and press enter to save. So I'm just writing a line of text. So I'm just writing this is a C program, full stop. But I did not press enter key till now. Before pressing the enter key, let's count the number of characters we have entered. 1 2 3 4, this blank, 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20. So 20 characters should be there. So I'm pressing enter key now. Yeah, so here you can see the file contains, this is a C program. Definitely we have entered that thing only. The number of characters including blank, 20. So this way successfully we have formed a file, and there we have written a line of text. Now what I told you, that this file we have formed in G drive in C data files folder, and the file name is file1.txt. So let's go there and see whether the file has formed there or not. So I'm just going to G drive. You can see that I'm going to G drive. Yeah, here is a folder C data files. I'm just opening this one. You see, yeah, there is a file file1.txt. So I'm just opening this one. You see, this is a C program. That means this way we can form a file in our disk. I hope this is clear to you. Okay.